Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining me. Today, in 1914, Hedy Lamarr was born. She was a Hollywood actress, and some say the best of her generation, but she was also an inventor. She came from Austrian background, where she became an actress and married a rich armaments manufacturer. But the marriage didn't work out, so she fled to Paris and to London, where she met the head of the Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer film studios, who took her to Hollywood, and her career took off. But while she'd been moving forward her career as an actress, she also loved just inventing things. She'd invented a tablet that you could put into water to make it fizz. She said it tasted vile, but it was the principle that counted, and she looked into how traffic lights worked in order to see if she could make some contribution to their development. But her best known contribution came in the Second World War. She was inspired by an attack by a Nazi U-boat on a ship taking 90 school children to safety in Canada. 77 of them were drowned. And this led her to wonder what she could do to help towards the war effort. And together with a colleague, she came up with the idea that's known as frequency hopping. When torpedoes in the war were often radio controlled, but the enemy could jam the frequency, and therefore the torpedo would go off its mark. But this invention, frequency hopping, meant that the torpedo's radio control could resist any attempt to jam it, and therefore it was more likely to be accurate. It wasn't used a huge amount in the war, but the technology, the invention, has contributed greatly to our contemporary Bluetooth and Wi-Fi. The principle is applied there, so she was inducted into the Inventors Hall of Fame posthumously in 2014, having already been part of the Hollywood Hall of Fame as an actress. An extraordinary woman. And of course, today's thought is very obvious and a bit straightforward, that we should never judge by appearances. Here was somebody whose looks, whose beauty, whose grace was enough, and yet behind that lovely face was an extraordinary brain capable of coming up with these wonderful and really useful inventions. And so today I'm going to try and make sure I don't judge people by appearances. It's an obvious thing to say, but actually we so often do it without really being aware that we are doing it. We allow what people look like to influence our judgment of them, rather than waiting to get to know them and see what lies behind the obvious sight of them. And so today I'm sure I will meet people who, like Hedy Lamarr, have a great deal more to them than just what they look like.